Huh? Oh, what's this? What a weird looking book. Ah! Onward, my friends, for soon we shall reach the designated resting area.
Oi, mate, how much longer is we gonna have to go? Me legs be sore for days.
Fear not, for I feel that we are close to our destination. What is that noise? Oh!
Me lord, art thou alright?
Did anyone get the number of that Geodude?
Screw you, you fuzzy pinata!
Ugh. Thanks for helping me out. I know this may seem a strange question to ask, but where am I and who are you?
Well, to answer your first question, this be the land of Moridia, a vast land with several great kingdoms and nations. As to who we are,
We are the mightiest of the kingdom of Stormal. I am the king's youngest lord, Walter Warthog, and these are my two faithful squires.
name's Marlin. Nice to meet you, mate. This here's me best friend, Magloon.
And who, may I ask, are you?
Me? Oh, well, I'm Dr. Waluigi. I'm what you call an explorer of sorts.
Ah, so you're a member of the rescue team, are you? Well, where is the rest of your team then?
Unfortunately, one of my teammates seems to have used a spell that split us up for the time being. Until then, I'm stuck here with nowhere else to go. Sorry about that, mate. Where were you heading anyway?
We're headed to the Water Kingdom for a mercy mission. Apparently, one of their people is sick, and we were headed to give them medical aid. Well, feel lucky, you little see-not-you. Our mission is to Aquaria as well. You may join us until you meet your companions.
Great, shall we get going?
Of course, onward, my comrades, to adventure!
Hope I can keep this up, otherwise I might be heading into a trap.
Greetings, travelers. I'm the C. Dot that knows a lot, Dr. Waluigi. As you can tell from the background, I'm no longer on my spaceship. My guess is that someone has sent me to an alternate dimension where we are closer to a world of swords and sorcery. However, this will not deter me from making videos, so thanks to the fact that a camera bot has followed me down into this alternate dimension, I will be making videos as I introduce to you the months of books. August, I will be covering movies and TV series based on books. So let's get started with the first review. This is Redwall. Created by British children's author Brian Jacques, the Redwall series was a young adult fantasy franchise that took place with characters from or in the abbey called Redwall. The book series was one of Jacques' most famous works, spanning through 22 books, and was adapted into 2 graphic novels, as well as a Canadian made-for-TV series. Sadly, Brian Jacques passed away in the winter of 2011 due to heart failure. However, what he left behind was a legacy of many inspiring fantasy novels for young readers. Today I will be talking about the TV series created by our friends at Nelvana in 1999. Normally, I would discuss the entire plot to this show, however, each season is set during a different book, so I figured it would be easier to talk about the different seasons as independent stories. The first season follows a young mouse named Matthias who becomes a part of the Redwall Abbey after his sister carries him to the Abbey after his village was invaded by a rat and the villain of this season, Clooney the Scourge. After several years pass, Matthias has grown into a young mouse who starts to hear the voice of the Abbey's protector, Martin the Warrior, a warrior mouse who came to the Abbey many years ago to seek peace after a long war. At the same time, Clooney comes to the Abbey to claim it as his fortress. This is the main focus of the first season, where Clooney tries to take Redwall and the church mice try to defend it along with other creatures surrounding the Abbey. Season 2 picks up several years after the defeat of Clooney. The residents of Redwall have found peace and calm to the point where a traveling circus comes to Redwall, only to be drugged and have their children stolen by the new villain, Slagar the Slaver, who had disguised his men to sneak into the Abbey. Now it is up to Matthias, Basil Staghair, and several others to find the children and save them from Slagar and his slavers. And finally, Season 3 is actually a prequel explaining the origins of the hero that helped build Redwall, Martin the Warrior. Because of how large the cast was, they kept the first two seasons relatively the same and only changed the characters for Season 3. However, that doesn't stop this cast from being one of the best and has some of the best Canadian voice actors, such as Janet Wright of Quarter Gas fame, which brought alive these great characters from the innocent yet strong-willed Matthias, voiced by Tyrone Savage, to the vile villains of Clooney and Slagar, voiced by Diego, I'm hoping I pronounce this right, Matamoros, and Tim Curry. My favorite character from each season is Abbot Mortimer, played by Chris Wiggins, who plays a gentle yet strict mouse of the Abbey and can command respect when he needs to. Season 2 is definitely Slagar, who we learn later was someone from Matthias' past during the battle with Clooney, who only comes to Redwall after he wants revenge for what he believes the Abbey did to him. And Season 3 is Martin, played by Amos Crawley, who isn't a leader at the start but does inspire to stand up to the villains of the series. One of the many positives of the series comes from the animation. This series was animated by Nelvana, who also helped create the Raccoon series. The animation for the series looks great, giving us some beautiful backgrounds to very vivid dream sequences. Another positive to mention is the voice acting. Usually when someone takes a series from another country, such as bringing an anime to North America, they hire different actors for the roles of the characters. However, this series kept the same actors, the only difference being that Brian Jocks introduced and ended each of the episodes in the British version. While much of this show is comprised of great characters and two really good seasons, Season 3 sadly is what barely makes this show worth seeing. Well, I love the first two seasons. Season 3 has only decent heroes and the worst villains of the show. We went from the sinister and underhanded villains like Slagar and Clooney to more comical villains of Badrang the Tyrant and Trom and Clog. This, coupled with the bad and disjointed storytelling, made it hard for me to enjoy the third season. I love this series, and am even going to read the books that it was based on. The series, while not great in its entirety, is still worth checking out if you have any interest in Canadian TV series. Just watch the first two seasons. Supposedly, there have been talks of making a fourth season, however, no one has picked up the show to produce the season, which I think is for the better. While I do like this show, I feel that it ended perfectly without another of the books being adapted. I give this show a 9 out of 10. It's almost good, but because of the last season, it doesn't quite make it to being perfect. Well, that's all the time I have for this month. I'm Dr. Waluigi, and remember, don't judge a book by its cover, because you'll never know what you find inside. See you next time. How much longer do we have to go before we get to a rest stop? Fear not, little doctor, we have arrived. Wait a minute. This looks like Redwall Abbey.
Well, that's right, mate. How'd you know about this place?
Just a guess. What happened to this place?
Well, that's right. The Abbey used to be a safe haven for all beings in Stormwell, till it was attacked by the agents Garson and has just been sitting here for many years.
Wow, I never knew anyone would take such action against an abbey, even one such as Redwall. What do you expect from filthy creatures of the Garson Kingdom? Nothing but ghosts, dark, and poison type Pokemon that will always take advantage of your trust. Well, come along, it's getting late and we need to rest for tomorrow.
Come in, me lord.